Welcome to Larry's Library. We are back in the unboxing room. Now, this is not my August haul. Still waiting on one more package to arrive for that, but hopefully soon. But what I got for you today is my Nate Powell graphic novel haul. So, yesterday, Saturday, we went, the whole family that is, went with my wife and my daughter Kristen, her husband Reed, and grandchild unit Quinn. We all went to a mini convention in Evansville, my hometown. Don't live there now, but it's still local for us. And it was the Evansville Museum Geek Con. It's kind of a mini con, you know. It's a one-day event, and the big draw for me there was to meet Nate Powell, artist, writer Nate Powell, and get his autograph on some of my graphic novels I already have, and purchase some of his new ones that I don't have yet. And so I was jokingly referring to this as the Nate Powell Con, because that was my main draw for going. But it was fun, and I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I got to meet Nate Powell. But before we get to those, also, I got to talk to Kyle Starks again. I met him a couple times, and he is a funny guy. He didn't set up a table. I'm not sure why, but he didn't do that this time. But he was there, and we talked to him. And also met artist Chris Schweitzer, and he is a great guy. Bought a cool book from him. I'm not going to show it now. I'm going to hold that off for the big haul. But yeah, I did get a book from him too. Anyway, so we did meet Nate Powell. Yeah, here, I'll throw up a picture here. You've probably seen it in the thumbnail, but check this out. This is me and my daughter with Nate Powell, and it was great. He is a fun guy. He posed with us for a photo. He autographed all my books, all the new ones. He even drew little sketches in some of them. I'll show those. I'll put up scans. I'll show them here too, but I'll do scan overlays. You can get a better look at it probably. And yeah, he was just a really warm, great, nice guy. Really super nice. So I'll show off the books. So I already had the March trilogy. Came in this box set. Had to get that from Amazon because the local didn't have it. Show that. And you can see he autographed the outside and the books inside too. And I already had these out because these are so tight in here. You really got to yank them out. But I have read, I've read book one, this one. And I've read I'm that far into book two. And loving it so far. If you're not familiar, and there's three. There's volume 3. This is the story of Congressman John Lewis and all of the terrible stuff he went through trying to get civil rights. Trying to get civil rights for black people, and really for everyone, but it was especially, he was fighting segregation, and it is a wild, harrowing tale. No matter what your political bent is, you should read March. This should be required reading in schools, I think, because this is real American history from someone who was there. And Nate Powell did the art for this. It was written by John Lewis and Andrew Aiden, and like I said, an art, tremendously great black and white art by Nate Powell. Let's see, this first one here, he put to Larry, and he dated it, and at the bottom he drew a chicken saying, Amen. And if you've read this book, then you know what that's in reference to. John Lewis raised chickens when he was a kid, and he loved them. He even named some, and he preached to them, and he did a little prayer. It's the whole thing. It's very, very sweet. But anyway, yeah, and he autographed the insides of all these books. And that was awesome. And I also have Run, which is the sequel to March. I've not read that yet. But he drew a cool sketch in here. Check that out. And I'll put up a scan so you can get a better view. Yeah, I haven't read this one yet, but based on what I've read of these, I know it's going to be great. So I already had those, and I already had this one. Kristen had gifted this to me, Too Dead. And man, it's really great too. It's a crime thing. It's based on real life events. It's really good. He autographed the inside of that. I wish this was in a hardcover. It's already in a nice deluxe format. Check it out. It's big. Here it is next to the. But it needs a nice hardcover. But what are you going to do? You know, at one time I said I was never going to buy trade paperbacks. Or I wasn't going to continue to buy them. I'm going to switch over to hardcovers. And my daughter's like, well, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff if you limit yourself that way. Because some things just never come out in hardcover. And I'm like, oh yeah, the best stuff always comes out in hardcover. It's just not true. Another thing that Krista was right about. She's going to love that. So, and then here's the new ones I bought from directly from Nate Powell. It says, "Save it for later, promises parenthood and the urgency of protest." And he autographed it too. Larry, personalized, which is fine by me. And he did everything on this, I think. I think he did the writing, the art, inking. I think he even does the lettering, everything. And then this is fall through, also written and drawn by Nate Powell. Let's see here. Yep. He didn't sketch it all of them, but he sketched in several of them, and he autographed every one of them. And then this one, I learned about this one. I mean, I bought it from him at the table, just not knowing anything about it, just because I knew it had this awesome cover, and it looks great. Didn't know a thing about it. But I did learn about this book and many other things at a panel they had there, which was hosted by Ted Haycraft, which I know Ted Haycraft from when I was a little kid at the local comic book shop, The Book Broker. So I know him from way back, and he's still in the scene. He's still organizing things like this, and he did a good job at that little mini panel. And at the panel, Reed Chancellor, my son-in-law, he was there on the panel, as well as Nate Powell and a couple other people I wasn't as familiar with. Well, Chris Schweitzer was on that panel. That's where I learned about his book about swords, which you'll see that soon, because I'll feature that. He had me at swords. But I also knew Chris Schweitzer from his work on some of the little intro stories in Harrow County, I believe. But more about him in the other hall. This is the Nate Palooza. Yeah. But what I learned about this is Lies My Teacher Told Me, which Nate Powell adapted this from the original novel by, let's see, James Lowen, maybe? But, and he did a cool sketch in that one too, look at that. But apparently this is about all of the misinformation in textbooks. And many of those textbooks are still in use today in schools. And this examines so many things that were either exaggerated or outright just false, that is still being taught, unfortunately, about our own history and world history too, I imagine. But anyway, so this is going to be a great read, I'm sure. And these are little hardcovers, standard size hardcovers. This one is a little bit wider than standard and shorter, but it's a nice size. Man, look at that gorgeous cover. I'll show that again. Wow. So excited to read these. And yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, Nate Powell, if you haven't checked out his stuff, check it out. I'll put a link in the description to his website. I'll dig that up, and you can check it out, because great creator. Dare I say indie creator. I think he qualifies for that. I won't get into that debate on here, but about what that means. But I think Nate Powell does qualify, and I love it. So I hope you like taking a look at these. Quick look. But this was my Nate Powell graphic novel haul, and filled with awesome autographs. See you next time.